So, you want to hear another story, huh? One where the very fate of Pandora, the world, the cosmos, the universe hangs in the balance. Well, too bad you get this video. To put it simply, I fucking love Borderlands 2. And this game has done a lot for me in more ways than I can imagine. And I hope this game has done the same for you. So, there's no point talking backbone or anything about this. Let's just talk about Borderlands 2. But I feel like we should start from the beginning, shall we? As a proud American child born into my youth, the doctors did note something, that I was born with a gun attached to my controller when I was born. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. And that should be used as a little synopsis for me as a person. As a young child, I really did prefer FPSs, hell, even third-person shooters. I mainly just enjoyed guns. So when I heard about Borderlands, I was immediately encapsulated because its main thing was the guns, or at least in the advertisements it was. But I fell in love with this game for more than just the guns. It was also just the characters. When I was young and stupid, my dad sat me down and said, "Son, you're too old to play fucking Call of Duty. Let's get you a real game." So we went to GameStop and we found Borderlands 2.
It's cute that y'all think you're the heroes of this little adventure, but you're not. Welcome to Pandora, kiddos.
My dad knew instantly that I was going to talk about it and want it, so he got me it. Truthfully, that was one of the only good memories I had with him. Anyway, enough with that. Let's talk about Borderlands 2. So, as it is stated, yes, I did play this game when I was young, meaning I am prone to nostalgia and biases and everything of the sorts. So, yes, this game has done a lot for me in my childhood, meaning I can't really give this game a true, honest review without much of it being clouded by my past judgment. So, take that with what you will. But, to be honest, I feel like that's a good thing. Because it gets to remind me, hey, this game was just as good as it was before. And truthfully, it actually is. After you're done watching the introductory cutscene, you start off by seeing this. Your characters. If you're playing the regular game, you don't have any add-ons or DLC or anything, you get the 4 base characters. Axton, Zero, Maya, whatever the fuck her name was, and Salvador. These 4 characters are already crazy good as it is. Maya being, well, subjectively, one of the best characters. Me personally, though, it's Zero. And Salvador is also very good. But if you have the DLCs, you also get access to Gage and, of course, Krieg. Another great character, by the way. And for a first-time player, you think, oh, cool, I get to play as these characters and stuff. They look interesting. That dude's pretty cool. Oh, she's hot as fuck. I'll play as her. You get these feelings. But there's also another level to these characters. Their skill tree. Each of these characters has their own little special actions and their own little special things. Axton has a turret, which, to be honest, is kind of shit. And Zero is able to turn invisible for a couple of seconds. Yeah, I know, it doesn't sound that good, but later on it's actually pretty good. Maya is able to lift people up in the sky. Yeah, I'm sorry, these characters just don't got it. But these characters, however, they got it. See, Salvador is able to pull out 2 of his weapons at once, meaning that he can just obliterate his opponents. Gage can summon a death trap, little mech warrior, to fight by her side. And Krieg, he can just go psycho mode on your ass. Yes! All these characters, they have their own special little traits and interesting little gizmos to them. Like, for Zero, you have this one little thing where you can throw kunai at your fucking enemies while you're invisible. That's fucking nutty. You also have this thing where you could literally charge at your opponents with a melee attack, and if you kill them, you get your invisibility thing back, which is also pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie to you. But this little thing is just to show that each and every one of these characters has their own little special thing to them. Gage has this very special ability that longtime players are very aware of. It's known as Anarchy. This little ability basically makes it so you do so much more damage, but there's a trade-off. You get so little accuracy. And the way the system works is, if you kill an opponent, or empty out your magazine, I believe, you will gain an Anarchy token. And this Anarchy token will decrease your accuracy but increase your damage. This is a very cool and interesting playstyle for your characters. And it shows the complexity that this game has. This game is super good because it is so good for casuals and very hardcore players. You can min-max your character so well and so effectively, but if you're just a casual that doesn't really care for that stuff, you can do everything you want as well. Just start dumping points into things. But if you care about that stuff, you could look into it and really analyze the complexities of each and every character skill. It's a very unique little process that I very deeply enjoy this game for.
Another deadbolt hunter. Handsome Jack's been busy.
After you're done picking the sexiest character in this entire series, you meet the best character in this whole fucking franchise. That's right, Claptrap, CL4PTP. This motherfucker is the best goddamn person you could ever have as a fucking friend. I don't care what anyone says, this is the best man in existence. And to be honest, this is probably one of the greatest characters to introduce you to. In every single main game, the first character you meet is a Claptrap unit, whether it be the Claptrap or other versions of Claptrap. It's a very unique and cool experience because, to be honest, I feel like Claptrap is a very great character, and I really hate people that disagree with that statement. And it really shows the coolness that is these characters. In the first game, you met these very interesting and cool characters, even though in the first game, to my opinion, it really wasn't that in-depth. It was cool that Zed was a doctor in this dead-ass town, but, like, what else was about him? You know? And Marcus, he seemed like this cool little business dude that sold guns. But really, what else was there? I felt like in Borderlands 2, there was a lot more character introductions. There was a lot more interesting things about these characters that you can discover. For example, the 4 Vault Hunters that you played as in the first game have a lot more story. Roland is the general of the Crimson Raiders, this little group of people that are trying to fight Hyperion. He also had a thing going on with Lilith, which he cut it off because, you know what, he's a Chad who likes to prioritize very important things, while Lilith is just a horny bitch. And each and every one of these characters has their own little special thing. Why do you think people like Tiny Tina so much? It's because she's an explosive maniac? Probably, but to be honest, it's more like she's just a very cool and interesting character that's also tragic. Her parents got sold into slavery. She's freaking broken in the head. Her parents died right in front of her. She freaking lit off a grenade, and now that's her whole little thing, explosives. And you can help her by capturing the motherfucker that sold her entire family and, you know, shocking them to death, which is very good fun. And all these characters, they have their own little special thing, and they're great in their own little right. Claptrap being one of the first characters you meet gets you into the story and gets you to understand it. Now, everyone else doesn't have a good view of Claptrap, which fuck them, by the way. But it really does show you how these characters act. The second character you meet, besides the main antagonist, Sir Hammerlock, is also very cool. He's like this very, old hunter type person. He has this mechanical arm and leg, and he seems very interesting. He also has this very stoic and precise voice into his nature. Very interesting to capture. He also has interesting quests that he can have you do. Which, by the way, the quests in this game is very good, but that's for later on in the video. And each and every one of these characters does a very good job with the roles that they're given. I love how Marcus sounds so interesting. He has this little precision in his voice. I understand that I'm trying to do a Russian accent, but this is the closest you're gonna get to a Marcus voice. And it's all very interesting. Marcus is also the character that introduces you to elemental weapons. I mean, besides you going in and discovering Flint's pistol, which is like 100% guarantee, I think. Marcus really does show you the mechanics of the game, which is also very cool. I feel like I'm saying cool a lot, I'm not gonna lie. But truly, all these characters have their own little special thing to them. Angel is this girl in your head that's kind of like a freaking monster curling up and also trying to tell you secret things that you never want to know. And how other characters in the game are very interesting too. See, there's this group of bandits that you have to fight early on in the game, and they captured one of the main characters, Roland, and he's talking with Hyperion trying to negotiate a price range. It goes from such a high range to literally nothing, like $2 or something before he gets killed. It is very cool and funny to hear these dudes talk about everything. He's just sitting there like, "Alright, Hyperion, $2 for Roland's life, and that's my final offer, you hear?" And then at the final moments he's like, "Oh, you're finally here! Well, guess what? I'm bumping down my offer. 2 pennies for Roland's life." And he still gets killed anyway. Hyperion is a cheap son of a bitch. And all these characters, they're very cool and interesting. They all have their own little gimmicks and stuff. You literally go into this town that's filled with a bunch of sick people, and you gotta freaking build this whole entire defense system while this one dude's talking mad shit to you. And then you kill him. It's fucking cool as shit. And the whole town rewards you for it, because fuck that guy. And I love this game because not only are you playing in this world, this game filled with guns and maniacs and psychopaths, you're also in a world with characters and people. Each and every one of these characters has their own little thing to it, and it's so good to it as well. Scooter is the man that gives you the cars. It is so cool how it works, and he has all these little things about him, like how he tries to get a girl, but it just never works out because, well, reasons. He has a crush on his sister. And it's very cool how all these characters coincide in this one world. To be honest, the best one is gonna be saved for last, so watch out for that. To put it simply, the fucking music in this game actually fucks. I'm sorry, but there's something so powerful about the music in this game. I understand that it's subjective and it's opinionated, but this whole fucking review was a subjective opinion. And I cannot say it any less. The music in this game brings you to another level. There are so many great soundtracks in here that I cannot recommend anymore because of how good it is. Each and every soundtrack has its place in this game. The one you're listening to right now is this one that you can hear around the start of the game when you enter combat, and I really fucking love it. It sounds great, and it's like a little pump to it. Like, yeah, 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 you're fighting these fucking shafts, these little cunts and shit. There's this other one that, in my eyes, sounds like a build-up. Like you're building up to this great thing that's about to happen. And I'm sorry, but there's something great about this soundtrack that I can't say any more about. This might be shorter, but I really want you to understand that this is not just simply me saying, oh, soundtrack equal good. I'm saying this soundtrack equals amazing, man. I have these freaking playlists of just these fucking soundtracks, and I do not ever regret it. Anytime I get bored while I'm in the middle of my freaking cardio workout, I literally just play the Borderlands soundtrack, and I'm like, boom, baby, let's get right into it. Like, it gets that feeling in there, and I literally can't think of anything else. To be honest, I'll play like maybe a couple of seconds of it just so you can like get a feeling of it, but obviously you're not gonna get most of it because of copyright and shit. But seriously, the soundtrack in this game cannot hit harder than it does. And of course it is subjective, it's different for everyone, but for me, it fucks. And if you want to listen to these soundtracks, I'm putting them in the description, so I'll save you the hassle, okay? You're welcome. This video is already 15 minutes, so we haven't even gotten into the actual story yet. Alright, here's the deal. Just like Halo CE, this game has a couch co-op mechanic. You can literally play with your buddies on the couch or from far away. It works that way, meaning you can literally play with all of your fucking buddies. I mean, it goes up to 4 players, but let's face it, who the fuck has more than 4 buddies? Not me. Not me. I have friends. I have a lot of friends. Leave me alone. But this is really fucking cool, because not only do you have a shared experience with another person, you can also play with other people that you've never played this game with before, and you can each share very unique and interesting details. Like for me, for example, I have played this game so many times, I have figured out so many key details. But with this new playthrough that I've just been going through with my good buddy Salami, we have found so many fucking new things. We've also discovered that playing this game with a buddy that isn't connected to you via couch co-op might make your game a little buggy, but I don't really mind that. To be honest, it's a fucking plus in my opinion, because when you find a game that isn't filled with bugs, it's kind of cool, but at the same time it's like, oh, no. Which is not to say having a buggy game is cool. I'm just saying that because I play Bethesda games for a living and I have a form of Stockholm Syndrome because of that whole entire company. But anyway, I really do love this because each and every one of you can discover something cool and interesting about the game. And it's so fucking cool too, man. Getting together with all of your buddies is just a unique experience that you rarely... I mean, not rarely, but like sometimes you get it and it's cool when you do, you know? And it's fun. And this game is very good for those kind of experiences. Me and my buddy Salami have been having a blast. I mean, I only can say that through my side. I don't know what he's been thinking about this game, but seriously, this game is very good when it comes to couch co-opness. To be honest, I haven't experienced forms of lag or anything, or I can't really say that or anything. I don't know. But this game's still running well when it comes to freaking a cooperative experience. After your train exploded and you were left for dead, you met up with Claptrap and you went back to his place. After you were done looting his entire place until there was literally nothing left of value, Claptrap gets attacked by a giant bullymong, a giant fucking gorilla creature that is basically an asshole. But this one is special. It's a boss named Knuckle Tracker, which, I mean, it's not really a boss, but it's kind of a boss. This is technically your introduction into boss fights. Knuckle Tracker has a very unique set of mechanics. It's very early in the game, so it's not like he's going to become a very complicated boss fight in this game, since, you know, you just started out. That's until later, where you fight other bosses like Boom Boom, Captain Flint, and, shit, I forgot what the other guys were. Wilhelm, there we go. Fucking Wilhelm. And Wilhelm. These bosses actually have their own little sets of movements. See, Boom Boom, he gets mounted onto this giant fat-ass turret that you gotta blow up first, while his brother, Boone, is sitting there and also trying to fuck you with his grenades. They both have jump packs and you gotta work around with that. It kinda makes Torgue weapons a little difficult because their weapons mainly rely on the targets being grounded and also the projectiles are pretty slow. While for Captain Flint, he is completely he's the fire Hashira. This dude just sets himself on fire, meaning fire weapons are completely useless. And Wilhelm can literally summon robots to help him at his side. He's also pretty pushy and aggressive, so you gotta do with that with what you will. But each and every one of these bosses has their own little mechanics and stuff. Even the final boss has its own little cool thing that you gotta do to beat it. It is so fucking cool, and I actually really do enjoy it. But with all these complexities and stuff, it could seem a little off-putting, but to be honest, unless if you're truly playing the game and trying to max out your character, you probably won't even have to worry about these kind of things, because the game is really not that difficult. You can play the game just as much as you want and not really care about what's going on, because the game doesn't overly punish you by failure. When you die, you just respawn back at these little respawn stations. They take away some of your money, but to be honest, money isn't that much of a usefulness in this game. Meaning that the death penalty isn't that high. Meaning that you could just play the game and have fun, and you're not going to get punished for fucking up. Rarely do you. Because when you get knocked down, you go into this little state where if you kill an opponent, you get back up. Also, really fucking cool mechanic, I'm not going to lie to you. And these little cool things about the game is what makes it interesting. Sure, this game isn't Dark Souls level difficulty, nor is it a punish range extending that, but the game is still good despite that. It is really cool and fun, because it's just fun, man. It's very cool and unique, and I love it so much for that. Aside from the main quest, there are a lot of great and interesting side missions in this game that give you very great rewards. The main thing you really are going to look for in this game is weapons, and of course shields, grenades, artifacts, little special character equipment and such, but the main thing is going to be guns. You always try to look for the next best gun, and the quests are very good at giving that. The reason why I paired these two together is because they worked very well together. A lot of great quests give you a lot of great weapons, but it is different than how you would think. See, there is these typical missions that if you complete the mission, you get the gun. But there are also other missions where you gotta complete the quest line, then you can get the gun. There's this one mission with Lilith where you gotta find all these little tablets and stuff holding out the fact that she's still alive because she faked her death. But she initially thought that it was from this one guy who, well, was gonna rat her out. So we kill this one guy and then we continue the quest. After we're done completing the quest, then we can farm this one guy, because the enemies respawn in this game. You can farm this one guy out and constantly farm him until you get this one unique grenade modification called Fastball. This is exactly how it sounds like. It's a super fast grenade, but it also does a lot of damage. This is a very cool way to do your quests, and unique as well. See, this game has so many quests that, to be honest, you might just be like, okay, I'll go do the thing, okay, the thing's done, time to get paid. But really, there's also these quests where you can just farm out these one freaking unique things. There's this one dude that you should farm because he gives you the best pistol in the game, the Unkept Herald. And you can find him very early on in the game, and it is so fucking cool. There are also other quests out there that give you very cool and interesting weapons. There's this one quest from this girl, Moxie, this little bartender, which she can give you this pistol that actually heals your health with each and every shot that you hit. And it's very fucking cool. There's actually this little glitch that I found where if you use Zero's invisibility and use Zero's kunai while having that weapon out, it actually regenerates your health back as well. And it is so fucking cool too. I'm not gonna lie, I love the quests and the guns in this game. I mean, I said that at the start that I like the guns, but seriously, this is how you do guns right. Just give me a fuck ton and let me try to find them. Because, to be honest, I haven't found all the guns. You know, I'm still trying to look around and find all these guns. I could just look up a guide, but to be honest, I don't really want to. We're 25 fucking minutes in, and we're finally doing the fucking story. I feel like that says a lot about this game. That we have spent 25 minutes talking about the game, and we haven't even gotten into the story yet. That could say how good or bad a game is, but for this instance, it's good. I understand that I've been saying this a lot, but the story of this game is magnificent, and I truly love it. Yes, it is not the complex levels of freaking Dark Souls or Red Dead Redemption, but it still is good in my opinion. This game has a lot to offer, and I really do enjoy it. Now, this game isn't really a focused story game because the gameplay really takes center stage, but the story is also something that shouldn't be tossed over with anyway. It is a very cool and interesting system. And it is very good. After you were left for dead and left to rot, you try to figure out what you're going to do now. You try to get to Sanctuary to survive, but you find trouble with Captain Flint and Boom Boom. But you take them out without any problems because fuck those guys. Then you get back to Sanctuary, where you gotta locate the Firehawk. Turns out Lilith faked her own death and is now going under the guise of the Firehawk, using that as a way to fight off the bandits while Roland and the rest try to fight off Hyperion. It's a very cool little system, you know? I like that little dynamic. Lilith fights the bandits, Roland fights Hyperion. It's very cool. I like it. And then after you're done meeting up with Lilith, you find out that Roland's been kidnapped. And then you go in and rescue him, and of course you're a badass. And then you get back. So you get word that Hyperion has the vault key on a train. So you inscribe a little help from Tiny Tina. A very cool and interesting character that we've already talked about, so I won't even go any further with it. After you're done hijacking the train, aka blowing it up, you go in and try to retrieve the vault key. Now, here's the thing about this. The main antagonist of this game is fully aware about this whole entire thing. And you want to know what he does? He sends his best soldier in, Wilhelm. This person, this monster, this robotic mess wiped out New Haven, the center hub world of Borderlands 1, without enduring a scratch. He fought off the 4 Vault Hunters from Borderlands 1, didn't get a single scratch. Wilhelm is built up to be this magnificent fucking awe of a destructive force. He's not really given into the game, like he's not lifted up as this high spirit, but he's name dropped a good portion of the time. Characters give offhand remarks like, oh, thank God Wilhelm wasn't there, or oh my God, if Wilhelm was there, we'd be fucked. But now you actually have to fight Wilhelm, which you do, and win. Easily. On Wilhelm's corpse, you find the shield generator, and you take it, and, you know, you use it to help Sanctuary, because Sanctuary's been bombarded by this giant H in the sky. Luckily, it's been able to survive with this shield that it's also been using. But this new Hyperion shield is supposed to be better, right? Well, tough titties. See, Angel has been working for the other guys this whole time. And now you're supposed to suffer the consequences. But the people of Sanctuary were ready for this. In fact, when you first enter Sanctuary, the plan was to do this great thing. And the great thing is, you're going to send Sanctuary off into the stars. Not really, but, you know, it's going to fly. And it is done in such a fucking cool, badass way. The main antagonist talks all this mad shit saying, you're gonna die, bitch, you're all gonna die. Oh, you're gonna send your freaking little space colony up into the freaking top of that? What the fuck is that gonna do? And then Lilith gives the most badass one-liner. Sup. Like, it's fucking cool. And it's all just unique. And the main antagonist's response to it was even better. He's just like, huh. Just complete shell shock right there, and I love it. Now, after this whole little section, you realize where the actual vault key is at. It's with Angel. So you have to go in and do all these little things to get into this bunker where you can rescue or potentially kill. No, you're killing her. There's no way. And you go in, you gotta do all these little things to get Angel, to get the vault key. After completing all these cool and interesting little things, even there's this one little thing where you got to mimic Handsome Jack's voice, main antagonist, and I'm 100% certain that they recorded every single line of Handsome Jack's voice with our character's dialogue. That is some commitment right there. And after you're done doing all these little things, you get into the bunker where Angel is in, and you gotta kill her. But during this whole little time, the main antagonist is telling you to stop. Don't do this, please, for the love of God. And he then eventually he drops out and says, I'm gonna kill every single one of you. Everything that you ever loved, I will kill it. Because you're trying to kill this man's daughter. So of course he's gonna be a little crazy about it. But you succeed, and Angel dies. You kill her. And it's this little sad moment where you see this girl right here who has her whole life taken away sheerly because of this one man. But it's not over yet. See, the main antagonist always had a plan. When you feel safe and you feel clear, there's this nice little cutscene that plays. As the game starts talking about what they're gonna do and where Jack's gonna hide, Roland gets shot, and Handsome Jack comes in and says, "Sup." Now, Lilith, a little hot in the head, charges right towards Jack, trying to kill him instantly. But Jack is smart. He's already planned for this whole little thing. He captures Lilith, tries to get her to kill you, but instead she teleports you away. And now, we're in the final stretches, baby. Because now, Handsome Jack is about to awaken the warrior. This is what this whole entire thing was about. See, the Vault Key was going to open up this great, powerful warrior that was able to destroy entire planets. And Handsome Jack comes so close to doing this. He actually succeeds it. But we're getting a little sidetracked. You try to get to that point. You try to decimate all of Jack's opponents, its warriors, everything, just to take him down. And you do. You get to the final point, and you fight Jack head on. You beat him. But it's too late, because Jack has already awakened the warrior. There's a really good reason why Handsome Jack has been rated as like one of the top villains, one of the top characters in this game, this franchise, hell, even gaming as a whole. There's a very good reason to that. Handsome Jack is charismatic, he's tragic, but in a somewhat odd way, he's very relatable. Jack is trying to do something, in his eyes, as good. He views himself as the good guy trying to do good. He's trying to wipe out the bandits, trying to save Pandora from all these freaking corrupt-ass bandits. And to be honest, it's kind of an accurate way to view the situation. Pandora is not a safe place. It is filled with dangerous creatures and an unforgivable environment. And to top that all with crazy, psychopathic maniacs that were left loose on the planet after Dole completely abandoned it is just another cherry on the giant pie of crazy danger that is Pandora. In fact, one of the first areas you go to where you meet Sir Hammerlock, the entire town was just slaughtered by bandits. This is a very clever way of really showing how Jack is right in a sense. It is true that Pandora is kind of fucked. It's filled with a bunch of psychopaths, and there's freaking a whole war going on. But Handsome Jack is flawed in his way that he tries to solve the situation. His idea is to simply wipe out Pandora, to get rid of all of the bad, even though there might be some good. And ultimately, that's why he fails. To be honest, he picks a very big fight. He targets an entire planet of Pandora. In fact, he does everything in his power just to wipe out everyone on Pandora. That it should be a huge, expensive loss, to be honest, because like that should cost you a pretty fucking penny. And Jack really does succeed in his story. No one could ever believe that the warrior could be defeated by a mere vault hunter. Despite how good we have been, despite the power levels that we have been shown that we are, no one really expected you. No one really thought that you could beat the warrior. In fact, I'm 100% willing to bet if there wasn't a health bar for the warrior, you probably wouldn't even know if you could beat it. But you can. It is such a cool boss fight, and Jack is a very great antagonist because his views on things are just so good. This character has fueled me in a lot of endeavors that I want to when it comes into my own creative adventures. I see Handsome Jack as a very unique and cool ass character. I like him a lot. And the whole reason why he's getting his own little section is not because he's the antagonist, because he's the villain, and that this is what he's doing, but because he's such a very good character. Handsome Jack is a very broken man. We find out in the third game that his own daughter killed his wife. I mean, it was stated in the second game, but you couldn't really believe that. Because, you know, he's a bit of a madman. You can't really trust him. And in the pre-sequel, he was betrayed by literally everyone. Except for, well, the characters that you played as in the pre-sequel. And it is such a very cool... And it is just so interesting how Jack is as a person. Because you could play Borderlands 2 and see Jack already, but then you could play the other games and really see Jack. I feel like it's a very smart move to have Jack in these roles, in the pre-sequel and in the third game. I love how Handsome Jack gets his own little freaking DLC, basically, after he's dead and stuff. But his legacy lives a lot longer. Hell, this game came out ages ago, and I'm still talking about it now because he is such a good character. He is such a well-put villain. You can feel him. You can understand him to a certain extent. But there's an odd level to his character of relatability. Because for me personally, I will always try to strive for success. I will always try to push myself to getting as close to success as possible. And I see myself in Jack because of that system. That little thought. Handsome Jack is doing everything. Putting everything he can into doing this one thing. Saving Pandora in his eyes. And he succeeds. That is an odd level of relatability to me because I really do like succeeding. And when Handsome Jack succeeded, I was like, well, fuck me. I'm fucked. But also I felt good because Handsome Jack won. I mean, it's not really like, oh, cool, Handsome Jack won, yay. But it was more like a back of your head admiration of Jack. And personally, it feels a little tragic for Jack. Because he dies right when he succeeded. He awakened the warrior. He was at the verge of literally winning. In fact, he did. He awoken the warrior. This creature said to be so powerful that he got literally scarred just viewing it. But it dies. Jack succeeded in his mission, but he failed. And that is the very greatness of Borderlands 2 in my eyes, is that not only did this person succeeded in his endeavor, because here's the thing with villains in movies nowadays, and hell, even in video games, is that you beat them or they lose right at the pinnacle of their success. They are about to win, but then they lose. Now, you can argue and say that, well, Handsome Jack did lose. He awakened the warrior and then it died before he can accomplish his war endeavors. Yes, but his whole entire objective up to that point was to awaken the warrior. Sure, it might have been for other purposes, but that was his objective. Handsome Jack succeeded. And that's what I really love about Handsome Jack, is that he tried so hard to get his endeavor and his goals set, and he did it. But no one could have really expected us to defeat the warrior except for us and that goddamn health bar. Borderlands 2 is by far one of the greatest games I have ever played. And I really want you to understand that. If you could get anything out of me doing this whole entire thing is this. Borderlands 2 is a masterpiece. Not only because of the guns, the story, the characters, the antagonist, the quests, but a combination of all of those. This game has done so much and put everything in succession. In my opinion, a true masterpiece is a game that can stand the test of time, but one that succeeds in every single avenue. This is why I love games like Skyrim and Fallout. Although they are buggy little messes, I personally think that those mechanics that they introduced in those games they are flawed to be a very good system. And I cannot get any less of this. Borderlands 2 is great because of everything that it gives you. And I understand that the general consensus with modern gaming today is gaming is dying, gaming is failing, gaming, dead. I personally disagree with that statement. In terms of modern to games that are coming out later, possibly. But gaming as a service, as an entertainment medium, is, in my opinion, never gonna die. Because there will always be these great games that have always existed. You just need to look in the past. I understand that it's against the corporate ideas, but just go backwards. Don't go forward to the next modern day great gem that is going to be Starfield. I know I'm going to play that, but still, I have a point here. Just go backwards. Go backwards. Don't follow the corporate suits and go forwards with their agendas to get you to purchase the next new great thing. But instead, follow your heart. Go backwards. Go backwards and play some old classics, like Borderlands 2. You got a couple of buddies? Try to convince them. This game's great. And I feel like it deserves a lot. I really thank you for watching this. You have no idea how long I have worked on this project. This is my biggest project that I've ever worked on. In terms of sheer editing, voices, and all that shit, I have at least 20-ish, 30-ish files of me just talking about this game. Some of them are cut, some of them are saved. But truly, I thank you for allowing me to take up your time and allowing me to truly express myself in the way that I want to. And if you want more of me in terms of a review system, I did make a review on Dark Souls 3, which, I don't know, I don't like it that much because, you know, I've changed as a person, but I've also made a lot of gameplay stuff, which I hope, if you do stick around, you enjoy. This video's getting a little long, though, so I'm gonna end it here. Thank you, seriously, for watching this, and I really hope that you, as a person, have a great fucking day, because you deserve it. Peace out.